What's going on? Boys, this one is difficult to frame. You remember what I said a while ago about ENTJs, their insanity, and their stalkerish tendencies? I ran into a bit of that again, but this time it was like a boss fight. If you don't play video games, good boss fights test the abilities or skills you've developed playing the game. It's like a final test. And for the first time ever, I was able to dodge a bullet cleanly using information and instinct, instead of relying on tricks and luck and taking emotional damage in the end. And at first, I felt good about it, on all fronts. Clean. The move in and the get the fuck away with enough information and knowledge at each stage, I wouldn't need to wonder. Which for me is the most emotionally difficult thing, is always the wondering. There's no wondering on this one. And I'm feeling good about it at first, thinking all this practice and information gathering has paid off, but then after a bit of time, I'm sitting there wondering again. Not about that situation, but about potential situations in the future. Even if you have one data point wrapped up in a bow, you don't need to wonder about that one. That data becomes precedent to compare other data against and to form your projections of the future. You cannot escape the wondering. It got me into a weird, thinky, emotionally space, in which I'm thinking, I have seen this happen enough times, I've heard about it enough times, and I've experienced it firsthand enough times. This must be some kind of pattern I need to worry about. Even if I win, quotes, this is not something I'm going to be able to get away from. Victories are hollow, because what do you really gain in winning? You don't get a prize for dodging a bullet, you just get not shot. And I'll take not shot every day of the week, because no matter how bad things get, I know I talk a lot about negative stuff, feel negative a lot of the time, but negativity and worry at least leave room for hope. No matter how bad things get, at least there is a possibility they could get better. And there are places in life you won't have that hope. And you'll know when you're in them, and I'll take negativity and worry and not shot to death every single time. That said, it does still feel discouraging when your victory is maintaining your empty hovel of an existence. Now again, empty hovel is better than not empty hovel, and don't you ever forget it, but it's still an empty hovel. I don't know how to balance that gratefulness and that disdain, but those two are what are happening at the exact same time. It left me in this space of thinking, what's the point of winning if winning is hollowness? But the point of winning to get hollowness is the ability to hope, because if you lose the ability to hope, you've lost everything. Yet the point of hope is to get somewhere or to get something, and victory is hollow. It's a state of suspended falling over, in which you're constantly falling but never collapsed, and the situation is dreadful, inspires dread, because it's not moving anywhere, or the prospect of continuing to move will still get you nowhere. Yet it's great because it's not nothing, even though it feels like it is, and maybe it is, but it isn't. It put me in a weird mood. Normally when I'm feeling bad, I'll listen to my feel-bad music and ride out the bad vibes. Tried that. Gut told me that wasn't what was supposed to be happening. Tried listening to good mood victory music. That lasted for about 5 minutes the way it normally does. Tried watching slice of life anime to reorient my goals, but it made me feel the way I used to feel imagining stories I knew I wouldn't write. You're wasting time on simulations of things you're looking for instead of making them happen. And the normal answer to that is go outside the comfort zone and see what you can scrounge up. But the whole reason I'm here is to refill the tanks after being outside the comfort zone. It's the strangest stasis I am in no way happy with, but do not want to lose. I'm dreading the idea this could be forever, because we've developed enough mastery of something to win things now, but we're still right back here. And the only livable alternative is a whole lot worse. It's a confusing spot to be in, and the only real thing anyone can do when they're feeling like this is make a YouTube video. And Thanksgiving number 2, list some things you are enjoying. First thing I'm enjoying is actually 2 things. I'm enjoying cotton harem pants and cotton kimono shirts. They're comfortable, and I'm usually alone out here, so I can wear them without looking ridiculous. And I'm walking around as the comfy bog sultan. The next thing I'm enjoying is movies. I'm not much of a movie guy, but for whatever reason I've been on a movie kick lately, and it's amazing how many references I've been seeing over the years but not getting. I watched Goodfellas for the first time recently. In terms of references and cultural impact, it's like just now learning Latin exists. I watched Conan the Barbarian yesterday, and it was strange to be that bored of, yet fascinated with, something at the exact same time. I watched Blade Runner 2049 again, and that movie reaffirmed itself as the holiest of holy texts, the most important life messages, and still, years later, so many years later now, new things to think about. Or at least it feels like so many years. I've been considering playing and maybe streaming Night in the Woods again, which is another holy text, but something's been stopping me. On one level, it's not exactly a stream-friendly game, and on another level, the developer, the main man behind it, did a backflip. Something's telling me not to for the time being, even though Night in the Woods, dude, that game, that's some uncomfortably real shit, both as a piece of media and as a part of my life and this channel. But instead I've been chipping away at Trails in the Sky, and I watched a great anime, a nice one, Wave Listen to Me. You like MBTI? It's worth a watch. I will talk about that at some point. It's really good. Another thing I've been enjoying, weightlifting. In earnest this time. I thought a year of nothing but fatness, would set me back to square one, but the recovery has been surprising. The heaviest I've ever benched was 235, the heaviest I've ever squatted was 315. In about a week and a half, I went from shaky one plate to sturdy 205. I guarantee you I'm going to hit a mental mindset plateau because I'm already thinking about how big of a plateau 2-plate was for me. But the fact I got this far this quickly after a year of nothing makes me feel satisfied. Even if I plateau again, I can build myself back into what I was before. And plateaus are good opportunities to try out other things or shore yourself up where you were a little weaker before. I like grip strength. I haven't trained grip strength in forever. I won't train it again until I need to, but I'm looking forward to being in a position to need it. And it's all great because you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And for me, those are the conditions under which I shine because I'm not worrying about and competing against the pressure of what I should be doing. I'm competing against what I want to be doing. And that is a whole lot easier to make progress with because it's something you want and you can go about it however you want to go about it. And because of the way things work, you're most likely going to end up doing what you should be doing, not because you should be doing it or because you're being pressured to be doing it, but because you want to do it, because you want to be the best. Those are the best conditions in the world. If I could make a great living mowing grass, I'd be mowing grass. The last thing I'm enjoying is connecting more with my extended family. Similar to weightlifting, it's easier to do things because you want to do them, not because you have to do them. When I was younger, it was a little bit harder to connect with extended family because I was always worried about what my immediate family would think, what they expected from me, how I am, could be, or will be disappointing them. But with my own agency and my own motivations now, it's been a whole lot different. Nothing is more gratifying and reassuring for me than to find my place in a loving and productive dynamic. And it's reaffirmed a family, a future family, is what I'm moving toward. Blood isn't always thicker than water, but for me, when it is, nothing feels better. So, in summary, stasis feels like reaching a mountain peak of ability and realizing you're standing in front of a strip mall on flat land, and some things are cool. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. I'm hoping hope pays off. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. How do you feel about realizing your mastery of something defends the ground you have, not gains the ground you're looking for? Or what kind of things do you enjoy? Let me know. Thanks again for watching our video. Really, we have a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact. You can stuff it in a bag and take it with you, because this is the sort of fun you can't go without. That's so much we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.